An interview that aired last night on 60 Minutes is getting a lot of attention this morning. Adult film star Stormy Daniels sat down with contributor Anderson Cooper about her alleged affair with President Trump. CBS News correspondent Hinadoba has more from New York on what she said.
The porn star, who alleges she had an affair with President Trump, claims she was threatened after she told her story in 2011. Stormy Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, says she was in a Las Vegas parking lot on her way to a fitness class with her young daughter when a man approached.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "A beautiful little girl, it'd be a shame if something happened to her mom."
The magazine story did not run, and Clifford was never paid the $15,000 she was promised. Clifford says she had consensual sex with Mr. Trump one time after meeting him at a celebrity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe in 2006. She was asked if she has any photos, emails, or texts tied to the president.
I can't answer that right now.
You don't want to say one way or the other if you have text messages or other items?
My attorney has recommended that I don't discuss those things.
A friend of Mr. Trump says the president called Clifford's allegations a political hoax when he spoke to him on Saturday.
There's never been a claim of harassment. So the president looks at this, and I think he's looking at it like I am looking at it. This is politically motivated to hurt and embarrass him in some way.
President Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, has threatened to sue Clifford for $20 million for violating a non-disclosure agreement she signed a week and a half before the 2016 election. Cohen paid her $130,000. He says he was not reimbursed by Mr. Trump or the Trump campaign. Clifford's attorney is seeking to have the agreement voided because President Trump did not sign it. Hinadoba, CBS News.
Also new this morning, students who survived the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School say their gun control movement is only getting started. The March for Our Lives rallies drew huge crowds across the country on Saturday. The students who organized them say they're going to work to elect lawmakers who support stronger gun laws. And then there were four. Kansas needed overtime to beat Duke and advance to the Final Four in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Earlier in the day, Villanova moved on by defeating Texas Tech. Loyola Chicago and Michigan are the two teams left standing on the other side of the bracket. March Madness resumes on Saturday. On to Crime Watch. If you get pulled over in Billings, you may see an additional fee on your ticket. During tonight's meeting, the City Council will discuss adding a $5 surcharge to all citations and complaints to create a technology fund. It would purchase, license, maintain, repair, and replace or update an electronic citation system for the Billings Police Department. Currently, all driver, vehicle, and offense information citations are handwritten by officers. Municipal court processes an average of 16,000 charges annually. The police department anticipates the surcharge to generate $50,000 to $80,000 per year, which will generate enough revenue to outfit up to 12 cars per year. Billings leaders will meet Wednesday to discuss the next steps to transforming downtown with the One Big Sky District development project. After 18 months of what was originally planned as a skyscraper, the project has morphed into districts. Big Sky Economic Development, Downtown Billings Partnership, the Billings Chamber of Commerce, and the City of Billings will conduct the meeting, providing an update on what's next. The meeting will also include an overview of the scope of work for Phase 2 and 3, an opportunity to share important considerations, and time for public comment. The meeting will be held at the First Interstate Bank Operations Center on Wednesday at 4 p.m. From our schools, Rose Park Elementary School will put its One School funds towards inclusive playground equipment like borders, wheelchair-accessible ramps, and a wheelchair-friendly ground covering.
On behalf of Cloud Peak Energy and Q2, we'd like to award Rose Park with the One School at a Time winning check. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations there to Rose Park. And meanwhile, Rygate Public Schools will receive $1,000 to help with the cost of digging the remainder of the well that will be part of their agricultural station or school farm. Newman Elementary will receive $500 to purchase instruments such as glockenspiels and xylophones for their music department.
It's going to give us an opportunity to have kids with every kind of ability on the swing set. It has wheelchairs running up a ramp to play on a playground equipment that everybody can play on.
Cloud Peak Energy is super excited to team with Q2 to go into the schools and donate this money, but Just because it's the end of the month and we've chosen a winner, very deserving Rose Park and other schools, it doesn't mean this is the end of it. We need the community to continue to step up and help provide for the schools and the programs they all run.
And Rose Park tells us that they have recently had 3 local concrete companies come together to donate all concrete work for the project. To vote, donate additional or to any projects or to nominate a school in need, you can log on to oneschoolatatime.org. Meanwhile, a radio legend broadcast his last show after being on air for almost 60 years. 93-year-old Lonnie Bell finished a career that included work as country music promoter and a DJ.
You've just been a hero to the folks out there in country music, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Bart. Thank you, Karen.
Paul Mushaven, Mark Wilson, and Karen Gallagher from KCTR Cat Country were among those visiting Bell at KGHL on his last day Sunday. Bell has been co-hosting Lonnie Bell's classic country show for 33 years. Our own Ed McIntosh has co-hosted with Bell for the last several years. Bell was born in West Virginia in 1924, joined the U.S. Navy in 1940, serving 40 years, and he started his radio career in 1960 and came to Billings in 1964.
The last day of my broadcasting career has just finished. It's about 12 here on Sunday, the 25th day of March. People have really been good to me here, and I've tried to be good to everybody. I'll be 94 years old in July, and if you can do what you like to do, and you will do it well. So I have had a lot of fun, and I'm very, very grateful.
And Lonnie, by the way, is in the Montana Broadcasters Hall of Fame and the Country Radio Broadcasters Disc Jockey Hall of Fame. Ed will continue with Lonnie Bell's classic country music show on KGHL, and Bell may also return periodically on air. Well, before we take a break, it was supposed to be a day of celebration for a Seeley Lake couple, the day their first daughter was born. But then the unthinkable, their precious daughter was stillborn. MTN Still Valley has a story of how they've decided to channel their grief into the gift of time for other families experiencing loss.
The nursery was ready, filled with sunshine and stuffed animals. Her name was on the wall, little outfits hung neatly in the closet, and 2 young parents were eager to meet the little girl they named Huntley Blaine. After an earlier miscarriage, it was an exciting time for Kendra and Jurian Coombs of Seeley Lake.
We finally got to hear her heartbeat and her, see her on the ultrasound, and we got excited.
It was an easy pregnancy. The night before they were scheduled for an induction, both Kendra and Jurian felt their baby move. But hours later, as doctors were preparing to induce Kendra, they realized something was wrong.
And they're having a hard time finding her heartbeat, which wasn't out of the normal. We had a hard time the whole time. And then they brought in an ultrasound because they still couldn't find it after about an hour. And then they couldn't find it on there either. And that was when they told us she didn't make it.
Baby Huntley was 7 pounds, 4 ounces, and 20 inches long.
And you just stare at her, just hoping something was wrong, that she was still gonna cry.
The tragedy of an infant's death is often made worse by biology. It does not allow a lot of time before the deceased needs to be cool to slow down tissue deterioration. It means parents who want to spend time with their infant must allow the child to periodically be taken from the room to have their body temperature lowered. It takes away precious moments.
That's the only time you ever get to hold them. That's it. That's all you get. You don't get any more than that.
Kendra and Jurian are honoring their daughter Huntley in a brave and beautiful way. They have opened up a GoFundMe account to raise money to buy a cuddle cot to donate to St. Patrick Hospital in Missoula. A cuddle cot allows grieving parents more precious time to say goodbye to the baby they lost.
The device sits in the bassinet or cradle, and it cools the child's core temperature enough so they can stay in the room with the family, where they can take their time to say goodbye. St. Patrick Hospital currently doesn't have a cuddle cot, and Kendra says by donating one, she is giving other parents the precious gift of time.
That cuddle cot will make it so they don't have to take them away. They can stay with the family, because it hurts a lot.
Joy is coming back to this house, as Kendra and Jurian are expecting again, and this baby shares a due date with a sibling they'll never meet. But even Huntley's short time on Earth was profound for this little family.
Like, I've always appreciated the little things. I appreciate them that much more. Everything. And she taught me to never take a single thing for granted, ever. She made me mom.
In Seeley Lake, Jill Valley, MTN News.
And Jill tells us the cuddle cots cost about $3,000. The Combs set up a GoFundMe account and another at Missoula Federal Credit to raise money to buy one for St. Patrick Hospital. If they end up raising more than that, they'll donate one to Community Medical Center as well.